Hello and welcome to the PBM and Tinnitus Lab channel. I'm Dr. Kato Yoon, MD, PhD of Auditory Neuroscience and specialist in photobiomodulation or PBM therapy. As I mentioned in the short video, I'll be regularly releasing educational videos about PBM and tinnitus, and then I'll explain why I believe PBM is the future treatment of tinnitus based on the scientific evidence and the findings of my systematic reviews and animal studies. This video is the first session of the PBM series aimed to increase your knowledge about PBM, its parameters and mechanism of action, and how it affects the biological processes and its modulative and regulative effects. In fact, this series is a masterclass learning PBM from basic to advanced. Now let's have a deep dive into photobiomodulation or PBM therapy. The first question is, what is PBM therapy? It's formerly known as low-level laser therapy, but PBM is done not only by lasers but also by LEDs. And photobiomodulation emphasizes the modulative effects of light and its more accurate name. At the core of PBM therapy is light. Light has a strong healing power, and the historical records show that even the great scientists like Avicenna and the ancient Egyptians recognized the healing power of light. But light uses in photobiomodulation has specific features. For understanding PBM, it's better to grasp the dual nature of light. Light has a dual nature. It behaves both like waves and also like small particles named photons. Photons are small pockets of energy. The theory of dual nature of light was advanced by Louis de Broglie and then refined by Albert Einstein, and the term photon was introduced by Einstein. Both wave behavior and photon behavior of light are very important in understanding the mechanism of PBM. One of the key parameters of light of PBM is light wavelength. In PBM therapy, specific wavelengths of light are used, and wavelength determines the color of light. Wavelength is the distance between two crests or two troughs in a light wave. You see that here the wave behavior of light is important. Wavelength is measured in a nanometer, which is an extremely small unit. A nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter. In PBM, we use the specific spectrum of light. The range of wavelength used in PBM is from 400 to 1100 nanometers. Some sources incorrectly states that this range is from 600 to 1100 nanometer, but it isn't correct, and we use blue lights and also green lights in photobiomodulation, and you can see that these lights are within the range of 400 nanometer to 600 nanometers, and both of them are used in PBM therapy and have their own specific and general benefits. But The most commonly used wavelengths in PBM are red and near infrared, which are within the range 600 to 1100 nanometers. Wavelength is closely related to the energy of light. It means that shorter wavelengths have more energy, and on the other hand, longer wavelengths have less energy. You can see here shorter wavelengths like gamma rays, X-rays, and ultraviolet are here before the visible light, and they have extremely high energies. But visible light and infrared lights and also radio waves have longer wavelengths, and they have less energy in compared to the mentioned wavelengths. This concept is very important in understanding the safety of PBM therapy. To induce cancer, light needs enough energy to ionize atoms or directly damage DNA. So the ultraviolet light, the part C of ultraviolet, and X-rays and also gamma rays, which have a very high energy, can be carcinogenic. But visible and infrared lights, which don't have enough energy, which have low energy with higher wavelengths, are not carcinogenic. Another effect of light is thermal effect. You know that infrared light causes thermal effects and can induce heating, can produce heating. And extreme heat causes burns, so indirectly promote cancer. And it can increase the risk of cancer, and it can damage the tissue. But high intensity lights can cause produce extreme heat, and high intensity lights are used in the high power lasers like laser hair removal lasers and also surgical lasers. But in photobiomodulation, we don't use high intensity lights, and we just use the low power, low intensity lights. So they can't induce, they can't cause cancer. So PBM therapy is a safe and non-invasive therapeutic method. Be sure. Now I want to talk about the PBM devices. The most commonly used devices in photobiomodulation are lasers and LEDs. Laser stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, and LED stands for light emitting diode. Lasers are used when precision, depth, and power are essential, and they are commonly used in professional or medical environments. But LEDs used when treating broader and superficial areas are needed, and they also used for home care, and they are very cost-effective treatments. It's very important. The price always is important. You know, the price of laser is at least 10 times as much as LED. So the use of LED is increased in the last decade because of its low price. Thank you for your attention. In the next session, I'll explain other important parameters of PBM therapy, and I look deeper to the differences of lasers and LEDs. If you are curious about PBM, tinnitus, and their relationship, you are in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to leave comments. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you for watching and have a nice time.